I think the real answer is Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of intel services, probably not American. And we have every right to ask, on whose behalf was he working? How does a guy go from being a math teacher at the Dalton School in the late 70s with no college degree to having multiple airplanes, a private island, and the largest residential house in Manhattan?
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to this channel. So this is a geopolitical channel, and this discussion is necessary because of, well, I shouldn't even have to explain why it's necessary, right? So anyway, Tucker Carlson went, but if I'm going to explain why it's necessary, I mean, we're talking about how American politics work and decisions that are made based on nefarious things, allegedly. So Tucker Carlson went on, went to TPUSA and decided that he was going to just come out and say what was on his mind, and he's been receiving some major backlash because of it. I mean, people are really upset about this, which is actually kind of odd, but I figured we would touch on it here and look at the people who are giving him backlash about it. In the meantime, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Let's go ahead and get right into his speech first, and then we can talk about the rest.
Where did all the money come from? And no one has ever gotten to the bottom of that because no one has ever tried. And moreover, it's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There's nothing anti-Semitic about saying. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that. I've spent my entire life pretty much in Washington, where I knew and loved a number of people, including one very close person who worked at CIA. That has never prohibited me from saying, I think the CIA has done some horrible things, murdered a bunch of people, participated in the murder of a sitting US president. It's got a whole trail of crimes. That doesn't make me a disloyal American. It doesn't make me anti-American in any sense. I was born here. My family's been here for hundreds of years. I love this country. That's why I live here. So criticizing the behavior of a government agency does not make you a hater. It makes you a free person. It makes you a citizen. You're allowed to do that because you're not a slave. You're a citizen. And you have a right to expect that your government will not act against your interests, and you have a right to demand that foreign governments not be allowed to act against your interests. That's not creepy. It shouldn't be forbidden. And yet all of us have trained ourselves to believe that you can't say that somehow, that that's like too naughty and forbidden. And the effect of making that off limits has been to create a lot of resentment, and I'll say it, hate online, where people feel like they can't just say, like, what the hell is this? You have the former Israeli prime minister living in your house. You have had all this contact with the foreign government. Were you working on behalf of Mossad? Were you running a blackmail operation on behalf of foreign government? By the way, every single person in Washington, D.C. thinks that. I've never met anyone who doesn't think that. I don't know any of them that hate Israel, but no one feels they can say that. Why? And I think the longer that we play along with it, the more subterranean and creepy and hateful the conversation actually becomes. So I think it's better just to say it right out loud. Did this happen? And of course, that question has been asked to the government of Israel, and their answer is, we're not going to tell you. And I think our answer should be, no. As long as we're sending you money, if you were committing crimes on our soil, we have an absolute right to know, did you do this or not? And yet everybody has been so brainwashed into thinking that's somehow an expression of hate or bigotry, when it's not. It's a baseline question that every U.S. citizen has a right to an answer on. What the hell was this? And by the way, if it turns out that it was nothing.
He was going off for a minute, and I thought he was just going to keep going. I forgot it was only like a 3-minute video. Tucker Carlson is right. I mean, there's just no like, at least when I say Tucker Carlson is right, somebody will be like, you just believe everything he said just because he said it's about. No, I mean, he's right in saying, why can't we have certain discussions, right? You don't have to like Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson just made it clear that somebody he really loved worked for the CIA. He's talking about his father. He's kind of exposing himself out here. Tucker Carlson has not been the most kindest of person in his lifetime. Neither have I. I don't know why we even have to go through all of this. There's some people who like him. There's some people who don't. But we didn't have to do this with CNN when they were giving us weapons of mass destruction to go into Iraq, right? We didn't have to ask who was the political analyst who was telling us that it is necessary to send American troops, American young women and men and women, into Iraq for a forever war that absolutely decimated not only Iraq itself. I mean, to this day, anyway, also, a lot of our brothers and sisters did not come back. Pat Tillman, I always say his name when I talk about this. There's just no way that I can talk about this without saying Pat Tillman. And also, but not even just Pat Tillman. A lot of our brothers and sisters didn't come back. If they did come back, they were missing something. They were burn victims, or they were broken mentally, or all three at the same time. He's not wrong for asking these questions. What decisions were made based on nasty blackmail? So let me see if I can find some Tucker Carlson just went on because this is Gunther Eagleman, who's like this, like NFT for MAGA on Twitter or whatever. Tucker Carlson just went on a 10-minute rant that Epstein worked on behalf of Israeli government. Do you think Jeffrey, like, I hate these accounts that do this. Like, he lives in America. Like, there's certain accounts that'll do this. Maybe they're from another country or something, and they can't really get into that, right? For freedom of speech issues or whatever. You're an American. You call yourself MAGA. What do you think? It's like, if we know you're a paid show, bro. The American right is transforming before our eyes, and the White House better catch up. This is Liam McCollum saying this. I guess he was saying something about you can only serve on master, but hold on. I don't know why this post is Laura must have been like a Laura Loomer post. Okay, look, Lord. So Laura Loomer is somebody who, I'm gonna read it. I have no problem with being critical of Israel. That said, TPUSA and Charlie Kirk should be transparent with the donors they solicit on the grounds that they are promoting pro-Israel views, which they often tell their donors, and if they are going to allow so what she just did was throw Charlie Kirk under the bus to let everybody know that Charlie Kirk is paid by Israel First donors to allegedly to promote Israel. So like, if you're telling your donors, she's absolutely right? I mean, sick, isn't it? But if you're telling your donors that you're going to promote Israel, then you shouldn't let Tucker Carlson do this at TPUSA. And so she says they are going to allow for Tucker Carlson to spew his anti-American and anti-Israel BS and paranoia at TPUSA. This girl goes off all day long about the Islamic Sharia law takeover that's happening in Qatar. She at one point said Muslims should not be in Congress. I mean, the stuff that Laura says, I had to mute Laura because I don't need to get worked up over people I'm never going to meet or I haven't met yet. Maybe one day I'll sit across from her and ask her about her hypocrisies. Anyway, Tucker Carlson is not America first. He let Iran's president to lie on his platform about how Iran has never killed a U.S. citizen. And how Iran never tried to assassinate President Trump. It's very demented to ask billionaire these people to fund your organization and then spit on their face by having Tucker Carlson accuse these people for playing two masters in 1 week after you gave a blowjob to the president of Iran. Don't ask these people for your money if you're going to prop up Tucker Carlson. I don't care if you want to criticize Israel, blame those people for everything. Just don't bankroll your BS with these people's money. If pro-Israel Jewish billionaires are America first and stop asking. Like, I mean, and that's just, I mean, look, you know what's funny? She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Now, here we go. Wipe your mouth, Carlson, when you take the jihadists, you know what, out of your mouth. Why are you coming at Muslims? She's not wrong about Charlie Kirk taking that other money. Now, what she's basically saying to Charlie Kirk is, since you take that money, you need to censor on your platform. Okay. You know, so it's like, I mean, hey, you know, let's see. Oh, I didn't know that, you know, Charlie offered something towards this. Tucker Carlson explained how leaders must address the quality of life issues. Oh, you know what? Like, I'm just over here. Somebody, okay, Eric had Charlie's back. Charlie Cook is a hero, attacking him because he's not attacked Tucker's petulance. I mean, and, you know, Tucker's been through this with this, like, kind of very, you know, at the like Tucker's been through this with Ben Shapiro. So look, you know, I'm not one of those who feels like I have to say that I love anything before I criticize it. I'll just criticize it. Yeah, he's been on the other end.
If you're intentionally killing civilians, you probably shouldn't beat your chest and brag about it. You know, maybe you could make the
I agree
case,
with that.
Maybe you make the case that we had to do it or whatever, but you should.
I agree.
You should weep, and that's evil, and you should just say it's evil. And I know it's like really threatening to.
Is it evil, though?
Ben Shapiro to say that or whatever, but
Is it evil?
to kill civilians on purpose? Yeah, it is. I think it is.
Really?
Kids and children. Well, how is it not actually?
In a war?
We can call it whatever you want. How is it right to kill women and children?
I didn't say, well, because I think there is a moral right behind you if you are literally.
To kill women and children?
If
Really?
there's a world war that threatens the
Call
entire.
it what you want.
If it threatens the entire world? Yes.
Some people killed your kids like your 8-year-old? Like,
Well, obviously,
how
it's
is
your own
that
children. Of
morally
course.
justifiable?
Well, because actually you have to. Well, by your criteria.
It's disgusting.
Okay, it's nothing's. So no war is morally justified.
I mean, I think it's pretty hard to justify. I mean, yeah, I'm
Any
sure,
war.
You know, a pure defensive action, sure. But
But I'm sorry, you will see my biases. This is not the one. I didn't know that Pierce Morgan said this. This is actually an older episode. I ended up, you know. But the point is, anyway, you know, it's like, God, this guy, Constantine Kissing, who's gone after Tucker Carlson. You know, I mean, this has been going on for quite some time, too. And I've covered this before in other episodes. But the fact is, again, it's time for Americans to start asking. It's funny when you find your own tweet. Mossad agent Ben Shapiro is upset because Tucker Carlson doesn't want his kids drafted into a war. It's personal for Ben because it's Israel first. It's hilarious to me because, like,